everybody, and welcome into the First and Football podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. We are coming to you live here. I am your host, Justin Sutton in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here with my other host,
Mike Rosenthal, here in the minivan once again at work.
This is the dedication we bring you people, week after week, show after show. Apologies if I still sound like I'm just waking up for the day. I did just get up a little bit ago, night shift life, as you all know, so...
I guess I wanted to start quick with some of the biggest news in football is Martavis Bryant going to the Super Bowl with the Cowboys.
You want to start this conversation right now, eh?
No, we can end it as quick as we started it.
Okay, yeah, that's about how much anybody cares. Hasn't been in the league since 2018, and we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, let's get into some Monday Night Football recap, Mike. What do you say? That Jets-Chargers game, man, that was abysmal. That was just one of those weird, bizarre games where the game script pretty much got thrown out the window halfway through the first quarter. It's like, you got Zach Wilson back there, so you're pretty much already at a disadvantage from the Jets POV. And now you're going to start in a hole down a possession on literally your first possession of the game. It just kind of spelled death right from the beginning. There is hope though for the Jets. I mean, man, I would much rather be a Jets fan today than a Giants fan. I can say that. Like, at least the Jets have hope. That defense played well. I mean, Herbert did not look all that great last night. Like, the defense kept them in it for a while, but once they hit 17-3, I kind of felt like it was over. 14-3, I felt like there was still some life, but once they got over 17, I'm like, yep, now they're one mistake away from this being completely out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I picked that game. I won that game, which put us even going into this week in our picks. The score did not reflect how that game was. The Chargers are still not great and have a lot to work on. Eckler needs to stop dropping in little balls, like little dump passes and stuff. Like, come on, man, I need those points.
You're a professional football player, Eckler. Come on, man. Yeah,
he still had a decent game though. Chargers have a lot more hope. I think that the Jets should have picked up Carson Wentz. Zach Wilson stinks. He doesn't have a feel for the guy has an arm. I can't deny that, but he does not have a feel for the football game.
And so here's where I'll push back on that. Like Zach Wilson is not good, but how do I say this? I do believe that he is a bit of the solution right now and not a cause of the problem. Like without
he's
his
not
mobility,
the only problem.
Without his mobility and those arm angles, I mean, imagine how terrible they would look. It's really that offensive line, in my opinion. But
yeah, maybe they would have gotten 9 points if he moved. They got 6 points. Their offense sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, literally, they were talking about it during the game. It was like when Zach Wilson got the ball out in 2.5 seconds or less, 0 sacks. And then when
That's not a way to live.
When he was over 2.5, he got sacked 8 times. It's like, I mean, Justin Herbert got sacked 5 times for comparison, but I mean, still, it's like that's crazy. I mean, at some point, Nathaniel Hackett, you are a NFL professional offensive coordinator. What are you doing? Like, help out your offensive line. I mean, it doesn't help when you got, Garrett Wilson fumbling on the first possession, which is extremely uncharacteristic for him, and like, stuff like that. It's like the weird shit happened, but like, come on, man.
Yeah, but it's all vibe, man. It all trickles down. You start with special teams with a bust play, the vibe's down.
Yep.
I mean, only being down 7, they probably already felt like they were going to lose because their offense can't do anything. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I feel that feeling.
Energy is contagious, man. And we are human beings. We are very easily influenced. That's very true. Right when I heard that punt return, it's like, I was like, well, that took the air out of the room for anybody who was pulling for the Jets. I mean, myself included, since I picked them. And I guess I want to see history be made. I want to see the Jets like be alive and have Aaron Rodgers come back late in the year and shit. Like, I think that would be incredible. That's what I'm rooting for. So I guess I wanted the Jets to win. I thought they could do it. And the game script was just one of those weird ones.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going to have a hard time winning, but the best part about that team is the AFC wild card and all that. It's pretty wide open right now. So they can lay a couple stinkers, keep 500, and get Rodgers back and potentially sneak into the playoffs.
I agree with you there. However, I do think with the loss last night, I think it kind of cuts their opportunity in half. I think that window has shrunk by about 50% because, I mean, if you win that game last night, that puts you in the 7th seed, technically in the playoffs right now. Now the Jets are the 11th seed. They're just barely, outside of it. So I kind of think that was it, but you never know, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is kind of, I'm more of a cynic, as a football fan. When I see something trending downward, I'm like, oh, it's over. It's all downhill. I'm sure anybody who knows me or has listened to the podcast can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be a little bit extreme, but I mean, for the most part, it's like,
Yeah.
if it's trending downward, you got to fix it or at least acknowledge the problem. And
Yeah, you want it more here for Aaron Rodgers to have a comeback, not for the Jets to be good.
yeah, I mean, you were talking about how Zach Wilson stinks and they should not have gone
Yeah.
after Carson Wentz. I kind of think they should have went after Josh Dobbs.
Or somebody, okay, I don't care who. Put somebody else in there. Get a winning
Yeah,
formula until Rodgers comes back.
right.
But they're
And
not going to do that. They're stubborn. They want to stick to it. Let him believe in him. The
yeah,
guy hasn't proven himself. Uh, I mean, Steelers analogy, Kenny Pickett and Zach, they're not far off. The only difference is Kenny Pickett comes in clutch in the fourth quarter. Is that a dumb trait to have? Yeah, but it's winning him games.
not
And
wrong.
Wilson doesn't have that. Wilson doesn't have that in him right now. And like I said, he think he has the arm, but they have a chance to close this one out. They have a chance here next Sunday night against the Raiders. They can beat that team. Let's
Yeah,
see what they do.
kind of tying back into like, I can be a bit of a cynic as a football fan, but it's like, dude, Aaron Rodgers is like the walking definition of like he's kind of changed my football perspective over the years of like the whole RELAX, and like running the table. It's like, dude, football is weird. Crazy shit does happen. Like, is their window still open for this playoff run? Absolutely. Am I still rooting for it? Absolutely. But do I think
Yeah,
it's shrunk by about 50% because they lost that game? Yeah, I really do. So that's just, I'm trying not to be a cynic because I want to see the good things happen, but
yeah.
you know. But
You,
anyways, let's. What'd you have to say there?
no, I was going to ask you if you had any. We can probably move on there from that game.
Yeah,
Do we have any news or anything big that you wanted to talk about this week besides
yeah,
Carson Wentz getting signed, but he's probably not going to play. He's just going to be a backup because
yeah.
Stafford's probably coming back.
There's only really one thing that's been really notable to me the last couple days, pretty much since the Monday game, and that is the Arizona Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon talking about Kyler Murray probably going to play this week. I was a week
Yep.
early. I had been hearing how good he was looking and how well everything was progressing. So I kind of thought he might sneak in there last week, but that's kind of a tough ask to ask your, franchise, quote unquote franchise quarterback to knock off the rust against that kind of a defense in Cleveland. So I would definitely
Yeah.
expect to see Kyler Murray back this week. And I mean, that's huge. That's gonna make a lot of people happy. I would assume, unless you're an Arizona Cardinal fan that like wants to tank for Caleb Williams, but I still
Yeah.
believe in Kyler. I think he's good.
Same. Yeah, I
Yeah,
picked him up in fantasy for some depth, just because the Cardinals are going to be behind in a lot of games, and he's going to get a lot of junk points, and I want to eat those up come playoff times in fantasy.
just like your boy you were just talking about on the Rams, Stat Patford, dude. Garbage stats
Yeah.
still counting stat column.
Yep. Yeah. On the fantasy side of things, I mean, that's really what I'm looking at on a lot of these games, you know. And I
Yes,
want to
sir.
see you want to see the stars do good once again, and those stars are on your fantasy lineups. Kyler, I hope he looks good when he comes back. And then James Conner potentially, maybe not this week, but the following week.
Yep. I was hearing
Another
that as
mobile
well.
quarterback that was in the news was Justin Fields. Probably not playing tomorrow night, but trending towards playing relatively soon. They need him.
They do. I will say the Bears offense looked surprisingly decent last week against the Saints. So
Yeah.
I kind of expect them to roll Carolina pretty good here. I mean, it looks like Montez Sweat was a nice addition to that defense. The guys there in that locker room
Yeah, he
look
looked
like they
great.
have something to play for. Whatever that is, I don't know,
Yeah.
but they're playing better. So I got Carolina in this game tonight, as we're about to get into in the line. I'm
Tomorrow.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, tomorrow. Not Carolina. I got Chicago in this game on Thursday, as the betting line is Chicago -4. Carolina is in Chicago. I mean, I don't feel good about taking that line,
Yeah.
but it's just like Carolina looks so bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the offense is so bad. I think it's worse than the Bears defense. And I kind of think that the Carolina defense is slightly better than the Bears offense. So I don't think we're going to see much scoring
Yeah.
here, but I could definitely see this game being like 14-3 or, like something really odd like that and just super low scoring and not entertaining.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm taking that as well. I think the Bears are going to win. I think they're going to have a little bit of running back by committee there. Uh, they got, I mean, Moore is a great receiver. The game's kind of one of these really boring Thursday night games.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of notes in this game. I think I agree with everything that you have to say about that. I think probably the defenses are going to dominate this game, and it's going to be a stinker.
Yes.
Maybe like with Monday Night Football, it's going to be one big special teams play that changes the outcome of that game.
Yep.
Like, block field goal, block punt, return kick, something like that. This has that vibe of a weird Thursday night football game at Soldier Field with two teams that don't know who they are.
Yes, I would agree with that. Talk about an identity crisis here with these two teams. I mean, we're about to find out. I guess just what they think they are, but I don't know. One name to keep an eye on is Jonathan Mingo. He's been getting more snaps in Carolina and he looks decent. I just don't know. Like, here's the thing. I like Jonathan Mingo. I don't know if I like Bryce Young. And I think that kind of answers my question about Jonathan Mingo. And like,
Yeah,
just keep your eye on him. If they can find ways to get him the ball, they can find ways to like, block for Bryce Young for more than 2 seconds. I'm sure that would help
yeah,
too. But if they can find ways to get him the ball, I think he's going to be the like lone shining star in this Carolina offense. For the foreseeable future. I mean, because Adam Thielen is probably not going to be what he is right now next year if they even retain him for next year. Chuba Hubbard looks all right at running back, but he just kind of looks like your average NFL running back. Jonathan Mingo looks like he
yeah.
has a little bit of talent. So I'd be interested to see how they keep piecing together that Carolina offense, going forward into the future, like next year and beyond.
They beat the Texans, man. So
Yeah, I mean that game was about
any
as
given
ugly as
Sunday.
Giants Jets, dude. That was rough.
Yeah, I don't watch the Panthers much to have much of an opinion because nobody, unless you're a Panthers fan, is really watching the Panthers right now. Same with the Bears.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that game. Um,
Other than I'm just kind of curious, how strong the Panthers fandom is right now. I'm not trying to attack anybody, but like I know they went to the Super Bowl in like 2015. That was their 15-1 season, right? I'm sure they grew their fan base exponentially that year. I'm curious to
yeah,
see. I'm curious to know actually what fans are still around for this current Carolina Panthers
yeah.
team. Makes me
Their
wonder.
jerseys are sick.
Yeah,
I like their colors.
it's unfortunate that does not show up in the win loss column for them.
Uh, so beyond that game, some notable news. This is a big week for us. I think we're gonna have a lot of conversation Friday about Packers Steelers. I'm
Yes.
amped. This is awesome. I got a bunch of buddies coming. We're meeting at a bar. Somebody's watching the kid. It's gonna be a great time. The Steelers are wearing their block throwback jerseys. Whew.
I'm glad
TJ
you're excited
Watt.
for this game, Mike, because I'm not.
I think it's gonna be a stinker, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on Friday.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
one of
it's
these offenses breaks out.
yeah, maybe we'll see, but I wouldn't put
But
any money on it if I was a betting man.
no, sir.
I'd probably bet the over if I could on multiple interceptions in that game, one from each team. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Kenny's been clutch with the ball lately, bro. He hasn't thrown picks in a few games.
Yeah, famous last words. So,
I
alrighty,
can't be
well,
jinxing this team. I'm a nobody. What are we talking about?
yeah. Well, given the fact that we just lost visual on Mike here, I think that's a good sign to close out today's show and just to remind everybody that there you are, you're back. Just remind
Sorry.
everybody, no worries, that we'll be having another show come out on Friday.
Yeah.
That'll be November 10th, 2023. We'll be getting into Sunday's pregame action, talking about Thursday night's reaction,
Yeah.
and all sorts of good stuff. So if you've been with us this far, we appreciate it. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. So, alrighty. With that being said, I hope everybody has a great week. And Mike, you got some last words for us?
Yeah. This is a short one. Busy at work this week and stuff, so both of us weren't able to get as much detail. This Friday is going to be an awesome episode. We're going to have a lot to say. We're going to be sitting down for quite some time, BSing and having a good time. So I can't wait for this Friday. It's going to be a fun one.
Yes, sir. Be prepared for probably an extra long episode Friday. I'm very excited. We will be sure to have all the details, all the takes, and more importantly, all the debates. So we will see you all Friday. And
I know you're picking them Steelers already, baby. I know you are.
we shall see. I want to see if that line moves, but as of right now, yeah. But all right, everybody, take care. We're getting out of here. See you all Friday. Have a great week, everybody.
Later.